All right, I'm all suited up, ready to take this on. Let's see what happens. Okay, got that bottom paint removed on the transom. I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but it is a lot better, and so that way I can add my trim tabs onto here, put my transducer back on, put both my drains in here. As I go on this side, this came out okay. I used that flap sander, which knocked the paint off really fast and quick and easy, but you really got to be careful using it. And you know, luckily this is on the transom. I don't care too much. I wouldn't do this if I had to do the whole boat, but you can see little nicks and stuff that it left behind, so not too big of a deal. Something I can fix later. The trim tab's going to go about right here. My pump is going to go about right in here. This here, I went just a little bit too deep, so I will need to clean that up. index gear here was not sliding up. So what I think is either two problems. One, just a problem with the starter, it's old, needs to be replaced. Or two, because the thing had a lot of oil on top of here, that it got inside the starter and damaged it. With the starter, if it's bad, then what I'm thinking is it doesn't spin fast enough to move that up. I'm gonna go ahead and replace it, and let's see what happens.
I will get up there and make sure I never will return. Let me be the shadow of your peace tonight.
So like I said, on this one here, when I would turn it on, this would not spin up. And before I cleaned it, it was very sticky. But now that it's all cleaned, it moves. But if you can see here, it sticks right in this area here. It doesn't work too good, but okay, so I did say that I needed to replace my starter, and when I took it off and I looked at it, you know, I saw the oil built up on the, I believe it's called the armature, which is holding the pinion, which was really gunked up with a lot of old oil. And with the starter being 25 years, 26 years old, and with all that amount of oil on there, it concerned me some that it might have got inside the internal. So I just went ahead and replaced it anyways. But that wasn't the problem. So I tested the starter solenoid, and when I tested it, I noticed that when the key was turned on, it didn't give too great of a power voltage going to the starter. So I kind of figured that was part of my problem. So again, another part being 26 years old, and it looked like there was a bunch of oil on it, and it also looked like someone spray painted black paint all over it. Just given the looks of it, and I didn't feel comfortable with it, so I went through and replaced it. The starter, the new one, just cost about 90 bucks, and I bought it from a company called DB. They had decent reviews, so that's why I picked it up. It was, you know, wasn't expensive, and I didn't want to put OEM parts on it because I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep this motor. I could keep it for a year or two or whatever, and then might replace it with a 4-stroke. I don't know, and that's why I just went with the aftermarket. But with the starter solenoid, I bought the Quicksilver one, so I guess that's technically the OEM. So I bought that and installed that one on there. Even after installing both of those, that didn't solve my problem. And testing certain things and saw that, yeah, there was an issue. There was something that I didn't think of. I went on to our Arima forum, and one of the members there suggested that maybe I might have something connected backwards. So I'll show you what I got. Okay, as you can see here, here's a wire that goes to the battery, and down here is another wire that goes to the battery. Now obviously this one is the hot wire, and this one is the ground. Now when I traced them back, because they're both black, they run through here and inside the boat. You can see this is a black wire, black wire, black wire. But this one here comes from the motor. Now what happened was, this guy, the negative wire, I had connected onto the positive terminal on my battery switch, and the positive wire was connected onto my negative. So when I would turn it, I would get this. That made me think that something was wrong with the starter. I went through my service manual, looked around, they had all the troubleshooting on there, but nothing ever mentioned to look at the battery cable terminals. I was glad that one of the members on the Arima forum pointed that out, and because it was getting frustrating. I'm so happy that he pointed it out, because it was a quick fix, and once I did it, the motor started right up, no problem. So take it from me, learn a lesson that even though there's all those other troubleshooting tips, you know, checking your battery voltage, which I did. I had 12.7, that was good. I even jump started from my van's battery and had 13 volts going to it, nothing. Change out the starter, change out the solenoid, making sure the wires are all good, making sure the fuse is good, making sure all the contacts are good, all of that, all those troubleshooting, but never thought about the polarity being swapped on the battery cables. And you know, it would have taken something a couple minutes that I could have done if I would have thought a little bit outside of the box. So just take it from me, just to learn that if you have a starter problem, check your battery cables first, especially if you've redone your wiring in your boat. Just take a look at it, because like I said, with mine, they're both black, and that kind of confused everything coming in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fix that wire so I know which one is positive and which one is negative, so that does not happen in the future. I don't like the controls, I never did, and I know online they have talked about, people said that they just have multiple problems with this generation 1 of the Quicksilver 3000 controls. So I went out and I just bought an aftermarket regular side control, so that's what I'm installing now. And of course, if you can't already hear, you can hear it's raining here once again. I'm just happy this is the last storm that we're supposed to get for a while, it looks like. And we need some time to dry out, just constant rain, but California needs it. Good, I guess.